Hi, I'm Grace Stiller with Burien Arts, and I'd like to welcome you to the online class called In the Artist Studio with artist Lezlie Jane, a local artist in the Puget Sound area. This online presentation is brought to you by the Burien Arts Association in partnership with the Highline Heritage Museum. I'd like to thank For Culture, the Washington Arts Commission, the City of Burien, for our sustained support that enables us to bring these classes and other activities to the greater Highline communities. And a special thank you to Lezlie Jane, who is our feature artist for this class, entitled In the Artist Studio. You'll meet Lezlie, view her studio while she shares about her artworks, her projects, techniques, and styles she uses in creating her wonderful art. Please enjoy the video.
Welcome to Hilltop. I'm Lezlie Jane, and this is my studio. What you see behind me are my paintings. I'll spin the camera a little bit and you can get a little tour. This is the room where I keep my paintings. Now, I haven't always been a painter. For many, many years, I sculpted. I worked in lots of different materials: steel, concrete, bronze, clay, gold, tile. I'll give you a little sampling of my sculpture pieces. We'll start with Luna Girls on Alki photos. This first picture, you can see that the girls are located above Elliott Bay, overlooking the Seattle skyline. And there's the for sure identifier with the Space Needle in the background. This sculpture has integrated well with the community. Families like photo ops with them, and they've even become parts of some very special occasions. I'm always happy to see the community embrace a piece. The next piece here is called Cormorant Cove Handrail. It's at Cormorant Cove Park. It's fabricated of bronze and it's 18 feet long, and it depicts cormorants and waves, which are typical of the waterfront site it's located at. Another project is Spinning Water and the Bakwa. The Spinning Water and the Bakwa were created for Dakota Place Park. The design concept is based on the park site, which was once an electric power substation. The base for Spinning Water is a refurbished cheap Seattle light pole from the same era as the City Light power substation. At its top is a double canopy of vortexes created in metal. It's approximately 9 feet in diameter. You can kind of get the scale of it with the crew getting ready to atop the pole. For the Bakwa Mosaic, I embedded colored glass in concrete and to compose a visual symbol of another vortex. It's a 5-foot circular bakwa, and it's set in flush into the center of the pedestrian plaza at that park. As an initial part of my sculpture career was fabricating precious jewelry. As a goldsmith and a graduate gemologist, I created one-of-a-kind pieces for private clients. I worked exclusively in gold, platinum, and fine gems. Some of these pieces had the privilege of being published in books. The first piece you see there is created with peridot, 18 karat, black jade inlay, and green diamonds. The pair of bands are created with platinum and blue diamonds. The monkey pendant is really one of my most fun projects I did, is made with platinum, inlaid black jade, and cabochon emeralds. And of course the monkey is holding a carved jade piece with his hand. And the last is a diamond and gold, 18 karat gold ring. Now, what may not be apparent is my unifying force behind these diverse mediums. My work explores visual ways to build bridges. Bridges between people, communities, the past and the future, individuals, and even within oneself. I think of it as opening doors or looking through windows. The shades go up and we see more than we realized was there. My paintings are like this too. I work with a painting until it is visually resolved and I have learned something about myself or the world. It is an inquiry and a conversation. I don't start a painting with the knowledge of what it's about. I discover it. And I'll give you some examples of my paintings here. The first two I'm going to show you are from the dessert series. As I became isolated during the first year of COVID, I took much more interest in food and found desserts to be great stand-ins for family or friend gatherings. This one is called Lemon Chiffon with Blueberry Schmear. It's 3 foot square. And this one, next one, is Cherries and Chocolate. And it's painted with paper collage added to it. It's 24 by 24. As a student of metaphysics and philosophy, some of my paintings remind me of that part of my life. Change, which we all know is part of living, and journey, something I live for. These both are painted with collage paper added, and they're 3 foot by 3 foot. My passion for nature and science often surfaces in my paintings. First one here is Dancing in the Moonlight, painted paper with collage, and Sunlight on the Sound. I'm passionate about the waterfront and especially our Puget Sound. These paintings are both 3 foot by 3 foot. Now I'm going to move us, and I'll try not to run you into anything, into the painting section of my studio. Along here. The first thing I'm going to share with you is new for me, and I'm very excited about it, and it is my painting station. Now my paints used to always be spread out on tabletops, and I could never find what I needed. I would often buy several of the same color because I didn't know I already had it. So this new piece of equipment helps me stay organized, and I'm just thrilled to be able to work from it. I also have another new part of my studio, and it's my painting wall. This is there we are. This is an 8 foot wall. It's movable. I can move it anywhere around the studio I want, but I'll probably keep it where it is. Those paintings on there are not complete. They're in process. I have other painting walls too. I paint in several sections of these studios. And I'll show you what else we have here. On this wall, next to the painting station. So see all those papers? Those are what I collage with. I paint on paper and then I cut them up. Now the long, tall blue piece, that's painted paper, but it hasn't been cut yet. So I'll find things in that I want to add to paintings, or I'll just cut them up, and then as I paint, I might discover the right place for them. I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to show you a few things about how I use my tools. I know we always think of painters as using paint brushes, but modern painters today, or painters doing abstract work, often use many other tools. And I'll share a few of the things that I've discovered that work well for me. I use a brush, of course, and my favorite brush is this wedge shape. I have many sizes of this one. It really is a versatile brush, and I enjoy it. Then I often have to adjust my brushes and recreate them. This is 3 brushes screwed onto a piece of stick, and I then clipped the tops of it with scissors to get a new way of painting with it. Sandpaper is my friend. I actually do sand on my paintings. And I use a lot of tape too for masking off and for making lines, things like that. Palette knives, invaluable. This was my mother's palette knife. Rolling tools, these are really helpful for all kinds of applications. Then I use a bunch of rubber tools too. This one is this is kind of a standard one. These are typical in the clay world, which I've done a lot of clay, so I have these tools around, for applying paint and making sort of wiggly shapes in it. This one is a softer rubber, and then I took scissors and clipped some sections out of it so that when I move paint across, it also is different shapes and sizes. As I'm moving it across, I can play with that. This is called a scraper. I love it. It's got a fine edge across the top of it, so I can literally take paint off with it and then put it back on. This one, so simple, but so versatile. Just a piece of plastic, but just the right amount of wiggle to it. So I can really do larger spaces, and I can make lines with it. It's all kinds of fun stuff. Now, then for getting surface textures or surface detail, I often use pieces of just whatever I find. So if I paint on this, I can put fine little detail in areas. And this in particular has got tiny little dots on it, and this I can use for shading or just subtly changing a color. I use this for putting fine lines. I can paint on this and then press it against the canvas and it'll put little fine lines. This one makes really big lines. That's all like that. Then sometimes we use scrapers. I have all kinds of these. So this one, you just move it, can do things like that. This one's got all different squares and different shapes and sizes. So that is a real versatile thing. And good old sponges, putting on, taking off, works really well. So that's kind of how I work, and I really appreciate your interest and your time to take a look. Thank you for visiting. Bye.